before we do top 5, let's talk a little bit about the NCAA tournament. Just spend 5 minutes on it real quick.
Okay.
Because it was such a chaotic weekend that I feel like we'd be doing a disservice.
Have you ever seen a tournament like this? Anybody?
No.
I haven't.
Never.
Not where all 4 teams are unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, UConn's the only one that maybe someone could have made an argument for if they watched them regularly and thought maybe if they can play at their ceiling, but I can't remember a tournament
Florida
like this.
Atlantic,
I got a funny stat for you on that.
UConn's, I don't watch a ton of college basketball, but UConn is the only one of these 4 teams I had ever seen play before the tournament.
And think about this as you look at these 4 teams now. So San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, Miami, and UConn.
Yeah.
UConn's the only one that you could even come close to saying is a blue blood.
Right.
And they've been anything but for the last decade.
Recent years,
It's the other three's first trip to the Final Four.
Yeah. What's crazy is, collectively, the odds of getting these 4 as your Final Four
Has to be 0. Damn near.
1 in 125,000 or 0.0009%.
Right.
It's
about
just
wraps it
amazing.
up.
Now, my
Well,
son
San
was
Diego
telling
State
me,
and FAU aren't even in big conferences, right? What?
no,
Mountain
they're
West
both
and
considered
Conference USA.
mid-majors. What's crazy is my son was telling me this last night. I can't verify this. I hope he gave me the right information.
We'll blame it on you if you
Because
did
Corey
wrong.
probably got it on Twitter. But he said he's following this guy who is, now listen to this. Gamblers, pay attention. He's following a guy that placed a $100 bet on every single game. He's $15,000 up because, he was 0 for his first 7. So he's got him down 700. And then Princeton happens. Mm-hmm. And now
Wait,
he's
is
playing
this the guy for the whole tournament?
the whole tournament.
Yeah, he's up a ton. Furman was the first one
He's
that
up
hit.
15,000. Yeah, Furman
Yeah,
was the
Furman
first. You're
was
right.
the first one to hit.
Yeah, he's up 15,000 according to Corey.
So he placed
$100 bet
for them
on
to
every
win.
single game
So-
played. Now there's 60. With this play-in, I don't know that he did it in the play-in game.
I think he just did it when the
But
64
there's
was
65 games.
Yeah.
Okay, so right away, your investment is $6,500.
Right.
So, but don't
Okay.
you bet? Did he choose for? Did he say, okay, I'm betting these guys will win, and then place a bet for them to lose too?
No,
Just
$100
just each game individually.
on the
No
underdog
parlay, just
in
yes.
every
Oh,
game.
on the
the
underdog.
underdog. You
Okay,
left
got
that part
you,
out.
got you.
I did leave that part
Okay,
out. You're
okay.
right.
On the money line or versus
Money
the
line
spread?
underdog.
I think the money line
underdog every time.
So
Oh, wow.
now, if you think about it, listen,
That's kind of crazy.
he's found the cheat code bull. He has found the cheat code.
Oh, because you only have to
Oh.
win. Yeah, but there's been more upsets this year than other years, though.
Yes, and I don't know. You could go back in time and you could play
Yeah.
that out every year. However, his overall outlay is going to be $6,500.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
He's already up 15,000.
Right. So he can't lose.
No, there's only 3 games left.
Right.
So
He's gonna.
if the underdog hits in one of those 3, he's going to get paid big again. So
Is this the new cheat
Well,
code?
probably
then?
not.
I think it is the cheat code.
But he's probably not going to give me that much more because there's not going to be a big underdog the rest
He's
of the way.
already 15,000 up.
No, I'm saying, but he won't make a significant more. But I think.
Right, yeah, I see
but
what you're
there
saying,
was some
yeah,
really low-seeded
A
big
16 beat a
dogs.
1.
Right.
A 15
So
beat
the
a 2.
16 over 1 was 1,400 odds. So he won $1,400 on a $100 bet.
Right.
on one game.
Yeah, Princeton's 2 wins were big. Furman's win.
FAU, I think, is probably helped them a
FAU
little.
winning in the
They're
second
at
round.
9.
Yeah,
Right,
but
'cause
they
beat
ended
the
up
1
playing
seed.
Fairleigh Dickinson in the second round. So he actually lost on them.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, you're right. So, but still, I mean, it
yeah.
might be the new cheat code because March Madness is where upsets live.
Yeah.
That's what the tournament's known for.
Yes,
And this
but I
is-
think this year was
This year's more
Probably.
profitable
Well,
than most
I
years
mean,
would
as
be.
is evident by the fact that we've got a 4, 2 5s, and a 9.
Right.
But I think one thing that we not examining is Gilbert Arenas said it. He said this is the new normal. 'Cause
It might be.
It's college free agency.
Right.
Like the
Guys can hop
The
around.
transfer portal got jumping in football, right? But it was already jumping in basketball for years. Once football happened, now dudes will transfer 2-3 times. They'll be like, you know what, I was playing for
I
Butler.
think you can only transfer twice. Am I right?
Well, but I
It's the new Wild West. You
Yeah,
can
but
transfer as many
in
times
college
as you want.
Well, I
basketball-
thought that you had to sit out a year after your second.
But Jay,
After your second, but you can
guys,
still
Yeah.
in college basketball doesn't really matter because the good players leave after 1 year anyway. So what's the difference?
You're right on that, but
Yeah.
I thought I was going to come on to something when I started examining the rosters of those teams, and I didn't get all the way through them. I'm curious to know, Corey brought this up in track and field.
Veteran teams.
Yep.
He's got some young freshmen and sophomore that he thought could win national championships, but he said, Dad, this is the wrong year because there are guys that are competing in track and field that are 24.
Yeah.
Because they got all
Extra
those
COVID
COVID
year.
years.
All them COVID years.
And in track, you got an indoor and an outdoor. So, I mean, it was a lot of these guys are 24 years old. I don't know the construction of these rosters to know whether or not that's happening in college basketball.
But you would think the Sandy. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what
But
their
you would
makeup
think,
is.
Like Florida Atlantic and San Diego State probably have more older players. You would think.
You would think.
But I
They
don't-
do. They also have a ton of transfers, Bull. San Diego State has 5 transfers.
Oh, do
FAU
they?
starts 3 transfers.
Okay, so that's how they're
But
doing
even
it.
if they
To
got
G's
transfers,
point.
they couldn't be elite players. Otherwise, they'd be
But
out of
here's-
college
but
already.
But
here's the
sometimes,
thing,
G,
though.
real quick, before you go, Providence's best player this year was a 5-star freshman that went to Kentucky. Didn't get a ton of playing time at Kentucky. Transferred to Providence, and then was, I think, the All Big East first team.
Well,
runner-up.
and unlike college football, see, in college football, if you got to play 3 years. So if you have a great year at a small college, well, you have incentive to transfer to Ohio State to
Sure,
Alabama.
right.
In college basketball, it's almost the opposite because Kentucky or whatever, these top schools are going to have so many good players that if you don't get to play, well, I want to go to Florida Atlantic or whatever
Right.
because if I star there, well, I'll be in the NCAA tournament. I'll make
Sure.
a name for myself.
Right. Yeah,
and
no.
only a certain amount of guys can play minutes.
And you start to look at guys that are developing. If you've been playing somewhere in third year, you graduate, you got your degree, and you concentrating on just working on your game, you go transfer to one of these schools, San Diego State, and now guess what? You 24, 23, playing against some 18-year-old.
Right.
There's a difference between you've been lifting weight 3 years.
No, there's definitely a difference.
You
yeah.
think about the game differently, and it's just like this. I've never seen nothing like this, and I don't think it's going back. I don't think when I started seeing Kentucky take these L's. See, kids are smart nowadays. Everybody is realizing I can market myself. I could do a lot of stuff myself. Why would I need to go to Kentucky to be the guy? I'm going to sit behind 7 guys?
Yeah, and what's interesting is we've talked about what impact this transfer portal will have on college football, and I'm not saying it's going to be as dramatic, but consider this. Just let's name college blue bloods. Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, Indiana,
UCLA.
Louisville. Obviously, I'm going back further now, but Georgetown,
Yeah.
like when you go into Villanova, like all of these
Syracuse.
blue bloods, and none of them
Syracuse.
were in the Sweet 16. I think Kansas made it to the Sweet 16 before they
They did
got
not.
popped.
Nope.
No, I
Lost
thought,
to Arkansas, round 2.
oh, you're right.
UCLA was the only true blue blood in the Sweet 16.
It's stunning to me.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a Final Four. If you would have showed someone this Final Four 10 years ago, they would have laughed you right out of the
This
building.
the NIT.
Well, not UConn.
It is the NIT.
This
Not
the
UConn,
NIT.
but
You
the
true
rest.
UConn, but
the
Miami,
other 3.
Yeah.
it's Miami's first trip to the Final Four. By
Miami's
the way,
been
Jim
terrible at
Larinaga is a hell of a
basketball.
coach.
Yeah.
But Jim
Yeah, he
Larinaga
is.
has done a great
Yeah.
job there. He's a really, really good game coach. Do you have experience with him? Do you know him?
My buddy that works for the Sixers started his coaching career as a GA at Miami.
Oh,
who had
really?
Nothing but great things. That's why I have all the Miami
He
gear.
coached at Bowling Green before, earlier in his career.
Yeah.
And I've followed him because of that. He's made a couple of nice tournament runs.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. I watch him when I watch their games. I think he handles his rotations very well. He's just a good coach.
You would think the Pac-12 would try to get San Diego State, right? They're great. Aren't they really good at baseball? Isn't that what Tony Gwynn?
really good at baseball.
Right.
Do you know who went there for baseball bowl?
Tony Gwynn.
Who else? More recently, top overall pick a couple years back.
Oh, Chris Bryant. No, he went in Vegas.
Steven Strasburg.
Oh, Strasburg.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that. Strasburg.
Yeah.
But they've been
And they're good at football too.
They've been good at football recently years too. They've been in like a decent.
Yeah, and
school.
they need some replacements
Right,
in
right,
Southern
right.
California
Yeah.
after losing USC and UCLA to the Big Ten.
One thing, a super chat will do top 5. My bracket was horrendous,
Everyone's was.
which everyone's was, but my key points to what I thought was going to be the reason teams advanced was spot on. You make your free throws. I don't know if you saw Miami yesterday, 25 of 27 down the stretch.
No kidding.
Isn't
Making
San
free
Diego
throws.
State really good defensively?
San Diego State has the best three-point shooting percentage defense in the country. Wow. And when you watch, as G said, the physicality of 23, 24-year-olds versus 18-year-olds, that game against Alabama in the second half completely suffocated the Crimson Tide offense.
Right.
And veteran guards, back to Miami, two Nigel Wong, the AC Player of the Year, a veteran guard. Pack has 3 teams in 4 years, veteran guard. Should be a fun Final Four here.